So it should be live now. I'm gonna be discussing I'm gonna be this. Oh, good, it's working. Okay. Very good. That's great. Alright, so I know this is for people watching this later. Just give me a second, fucking watch the whole video and like. It's gonna be like 30 minutes. It's just, give me a second to like, you know, get like a thumbnail going and shit. So I'm getting a, right now what I'm doing is on my phone is I'm getting a picture. I'm saving it to my photos. I'm going to YouTube. I'm hitting God, how do I wanna add a thumbnail. Is it possible? Is it possible? I don't know. I don't know how this works. Apparently it's not possible. I'm gonna have to do it in post, I guess. Alright. Well, you know, this is just what's going. Okay, so now I'm gonna get to playing, and I'm gonna get to discussing, and I'm not gonna go in any particular order. It's just gonna be a very free flowing type thing. I am gonna try to keep it under an hour. Yeah, I gotta keep it under an hour because I gotta get to dinner. So I'll begin with I guess I'll just begin with Meg Griffin. So I'm just gonna say everything that comes to mind with every character that pops up. So Meg Griffin, okay? What comes to mind? And if you're watching, you can comment, and then I'll, if anybody's watching, and then I might add on to that. But if you're on the live stream, but Meg Griffin, I'll say this: they make jokes about them on the Meg episodes. They make jokes. They go, "Oh no, a Meg episode," and it's like, yeah, haha, very funny. They're self-aware. But then it actually started to become a thing. I noticed where it was like, oh, I genuinely do not enjoy the episodes that center around Meg because they're not good. Take that as you will. Oh, shit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still distracted because I wasn't able to get the thumbnail that I wanted, and that pissed me off. But as far as Meg goes, as I said, the episodes that focus around her generally aren't very good. Now Meg, of course, you know, she's known as kind of a disgusting creature. She doesn't look that gross in the show, but the context of the way they talk about her and what they get you to believe about her, you can definitely, like, it paints a picture of how she would look in real life that's so convincing that it makes you almost repulsed when you see her in the cartoon itself. And it's comical, of course, that they have Mila Kunis voicing her, who's like, Mila Kunis is known for being hot, and I don't know how young she must have been really young when they started out, because I know she was like Mila Kunis was the voice actress for Meg. She got famous off that '70s show, and I think that was around the same time as Family Guy started. I'm not sure. And she was only like 17 at the time. Well, I guess that makes sense because Meg is a 17-year-old girl, so I get or something like that. Holy shit! I just had a realization. I'm at the point now in my life where I'm older than Meg. That's kind of like existential. I don't know how to take that. Yikes. That's a big deal. It's a big deal when that happens, when you realize you're just like older than the characters that you used to watch. Characters that you used to think of as older than you. But this is just what's happened in this case. So Meg wears like pink stuff, pink clothing, as the beanie. You got to imagine that the beanie smells very bad, given the context of the character. You know, got to imagine, you know, and I don't know why you would want, I don't know, if you have hair that, like, I don't see why, it's just, I don't know, it's almost odd. It's an odd fashion choice to wear a beanie like that all the time, without ceasing.
Hostile UAV in the area.
You know, God, I have so much to say about Meg. This might take like 5 hours to get through all the characters if I have so much to say about just one. This is good. It's good to have topics to talk about. I was gonna do a thing tomorrow that I knew I wasn't gonna be able to do in one day, where I just say everything that I think about every state. So these are good. These series ideas are good, and it gives me something to do. It's almost like a quest, where it's like I'm gonna discuss the absolute shit out of this, out of just any topic, and topics that, quite frankly, have an audience already associated with it. Because states, obviously states, every state loves hearing about themselves. I love it when I see articles about, or videos about my state, which is Oregon. It probably means less to people from New York or California, but when you're from a smaller state, I guess. But to get back to Meg, context of the current video and the current character, well, I discussed her clothes, I discussed her age, I discussed my disgust with her. I recall the one episode where she had a boyfriend, and then Lois had the hots for the boyfriend. I don't remember if Lois slept with, I don't think Lois slept with the boyfriend. I don't know if Lois ever actually cheated on Peter, now that I think about it. I don't know, you know, to be honest, I should have done a rewatch before I did this video. If I cared a lot about my content and doing right by the listeners, or watchers, viewers, I guess, then I would have done that, but that's not what you get. This is free content, so you get what you pay for. And what you're getting is my, like, just almost worthless ramblings. Well, yeah, I mean, and again, it's, how much is it costing you? It's costing you nothing. Let's see, what other Meg stuff? I couldn't imagine, I mean, let's imagine Meg, how she would deal with, I mean, I remember the one episode where What is it? The episode where she was like a bitch? There was like an episode where she was just like a bitch the whole time or something. She was like sassy. She's had all sorts of episodes. I think Quagmire has the hots for her sometimes. That was a whole thing. Which doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Actually, it makes total sense, but as I said earlier, the way they frame her leads you to think that she's just repulsive. And she's a bother, too. Because it's... Okay, let's be honest, it's the... I can speak honestly because there aren't any girls watching this anyway. Because it's YouTube, and because I know my demographics. And it's like 90% guys, so I can say this. And nobody's gonna get offended. Okay, here it goes. You know, an unattractive girl is kind of like... It's just not like... the patience that people will have for them is just... Oh god, maybe I'm just being sexist. Or maybe it's because a lot of, like... of the time when girls are unattractive, they're also like bitchy, or maybe the unattractiveness and the personality are one thing, and this happens a lot, guys and girls, I think. Well, I don't know, it's all very nuanced, I suppose. I'm not a goddamn psychologist, but I can't imagine that I would want... Let me put it this way, I don't think you would, if you found out that Meg Griffin liked you in a romantic way, I think you would get afraid, and I think you would want, or you should want to be afraid, and you should probably leave the city. It would be uncomfortable. What else? I had a thought for a moment. Oh yes, there's a radio station, I don't remember which. It might be the Portland Jazz station. Oh look, I got the most kills on the whole game. Very good. But it might be the Portland Jazz station. Anyway, there was a radio host. They're probably still going. Oh no, wait, it's the Beatles station on Sirius XM. Yeah, it's the Beatles station. Anyway, the lead anchor, I kid you not, her name was Meg Griffin, and it's like, it was just impossible for me not to like, I don't know, at least smile every time I heard that. It was like crazy. It was like, this is literally just what's happening right now, is the radio host is literally Meg Griffin. And I love the Beatles, but the fact that it's a Beatles station, it kind of fits the character almost, where it's just like kind of a lame deal. I don't know. I don't want to be... I don't mean to diss the... I'm a huge Beatles fan, I'm just saying... kind of fits. I mean, it doesn't really... I can't imagine Meg liking any music. I just imagine Meg smelling kind of bad and not listening to music. Yeah, I just got a vivid smell of that whole situation. I'll say this, one episode that comes to mind, and that's pretty much what this is just me stalling, saying things, repeating things, and then every once in a while I think of an episode. And the episode I'm thinking of now is the one where she becomes like religious, and you know, when she got religious and all that for a moment, you know, when she got all religious, she pretty much, that fit her character. So like, what makes a show good? A show is good when they do things that like, you're like, oh, that fits the character, or when they have the character do something different, and it's aware of that. The important thing is an understanding of what the character is. And I don't know, maybe I'm fucking like acting like Family Guy's fucking Shakespeare for a moment, but the idea that she would just get really into religion, that's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. That's actually, I'm gonna rewatch that goddamn episode tonight because I've just fucking convinced myself that that's one of the funniest things ever. Because it's so a good show, what do? They present you with things that you've seen in real life, and they make a comedy. They present you with things that you've seen in real life, and then they show it to you, and they make fun of it. And how do you make fun of it? You just show what, like, literally what happens. With, like, a little, just like a pinch of absurdity. You don't need much, because it's absurd enough. So, I don't know. I remember there was this really annoying girl on this show called Real World, and it was the Portland, Oregon season, which meant a lot to me because I was from there. And this girl was just like so dumb and so annoying. She didn't remind me at the time of Meg Griffin, but now I'm putting the dots together and I'm going, oh, that's probably like, she's like one of the archetypes. She's like the inspiration, not directly, but like same kind of a person. And I know people from high school, same kind of a person. It's like, yikes. But as far as that goes, and so this girl on this show, the reality show, Real World, where they're just in an apartment and it's pretty raw. There's not like interviewers, there's no games. It's literally just they're in an apartment and it's with strangers and they're in a new city. Anyway, so this girl literally, she just like has a bad relationship breakup where the guy breaks up with her, and then she just becomes a born-again Christian. And she makes a big deal out of it. She's like, I'm never gonna have she's like, I'm never gonna have sex again until I'm married. And then she starts wearing she bought like the associated merchandise. This girl on the show, who was exactly like Meg, she just started buying herself the merchandise associated with being a born-again Christian and being a virgin. She bought herself like a purity ring or something. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. And the funny thing was, everyone else on the show gave her so much shit about it. They were like, I can't even be around you. They were like, you're just... They were like, and they were so tired of her that they were just they just told her. It was so sad. I mean, it wasn't that sad. It was hilarious, is what I mean. Nothing is sad. You know, it was just hilarious. I don't know. Yeah. No, it's not. There's nothing wrong with being hilarious. I would never want to say, if you call something sad, then that means that you want it to stop. And I do not want it to stop. I found it thoroughly entertaining. And it won't stop, because people like that exist. And you've met them, and I've met them, and they're good people, and they make you... you don't want to be around them. You don't want to be around a Meg. And that reminds me, for a brief moment, I'm gonna drift to Parks and Rec, and how funny it was how they ended it. They ended Parks and Rec very well, but just because I said, you've met a Meg, you don't want to talk to a Meg, it reminded me of how Parks and Rec ends with, I won't spoil who, but one of the characters writes a self-help book, which is hilarious. Which is just hilarious. The idea that you're gonna get... This is a whole thing, too. The idea that you're going to get rich by selling a self-help book
Friendly UAV on station.
Is just the most ridiculous thing. Like the idea that you're going to give advice, and for that first book, maybe the second book you can go, look, I'm successful because of the other book. But that first book, when you're giving advice, you're just pulling shit out of your ass. For that first book, you're just a guy who's pretty much fraudulent. So it was just hilarious. Oh, I'm so giddy right now. It was just hilarious. This is really, I'm just entertaining myself, which is a ridiculous thing to say, but what's happening. Anyway, so... Oh.
We've lost the lead.
So yeah, he has like, in his self-help book, he has different personality types, and they're just people he knows. He's like, are you a Ron? You know, are you an Amy? And it's like, that doesn't mean anything. It's like you could say anything. I mean, I guess it, but also, it does mean something, because that's true. There are just like a set number of different kinds of people, and you know all of them, and you see repetitions. If you meet enough, meet enough people, then you've seen and you've met the same like 5 people 100 times in 100 different bodies. Oftentimes they look very similar, so it's very confusing. There's a limit to how much variety there can be when you're in a game where everyone's chasing the same stuff and we're the same species.
Confirmed that one.
Like, what are you gonna find? You're probably not gonna find anything shocking.
Friendly UAV online.
I don't know. But back to Meg. Are there any other things? I think there might have been I don't know. I think Meg and Chris kissed at one point. That's fitting. Oh yeah, that was actually, I think what happened was they were both put blindfolded into a room into like the 7 minutes in heaven, and I think that's what happened. And that's hilarious. And fitting of the characters, once again, fitting of the characters. Fitting of the characters, classic moment. Classic moment.
Hostile care package. Enemy
Alright.
UAV active.
I guess I'm gonna... Is there anything more? I don't
Missile deployed.
wanna leave the topic of Meg while it's still a hot topic, you know? If there's still more to say, then I wanna say
Friendly
it.
mosquito deployed.
Is there anything else? There's looks. I need to come up with a protocol for how I analyze these characters. There's looks. Okay, she's kind of dumpy looking. I've already talked about this. And I already said the context makes you believe that she in real life would look just awful. Beyond what the cartoon is. Because the cartoon makes it so that nobody really looks awful.
Counter UAV overhead.
They're all cartoons. But, you know, it leads you to believe. So that's looks, and then the personality is just kind of a energy vampire that you want to get away from you as fast as possible before you kill yourself. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean that in a negative way at all. I mean that in an absolutely a positive way. As positive as you can get. About as positive as it gets, I would go as far as say. What else?
30 seconds remain.
What else is there to say? Okay, so looks, personality. Oh, I can go through how they would act in different scenarios. Seems a bit boring and a bit forced. I've covered different episode scenarios. Oh yeah, in Star Wars, I think they had her play literally just like a mutant, if I remember right.
Mission failed.
Which
Return to
fits.
base.
And let's see. It's also really cool that they did those Star Wars episodes. God, I'm gonna have to watch Family Guy tonight. That's just like non-negotiable at this point, as far as what I'm doing. They should pay me for the promotion for the 2 people that watch this. Because the 2 people that watch this are going to get so inspired to watch Family Guy. Because of me, I should get a commission. Give me a 5-cent commission on that. But okay, so how would Meg end up at 50? Oh God, I can see it. She would just be overweight with cats and an Uber driver. And I don't mean to be offensive, but I literally interacted with that person yesterday. And it really just doesn't even make sense. It doesn't. I don't know how else to put it, but it's literally just what would happen. And it's just a wild situation. It's a wild situation where society is like, listen, this is what we like, and this is what we reward, and then the person goes, oh, but I'm not going to do that. And that's pretty much what that kind of person ends up being, is an overweight Uber driver. God, I'm so judgmental. I don't know what, I don't know, it's or I don't know, I guess there's no defense for it. I need to get, maybe I should go to more church and start seeing everybody as an effective. But I see everybody as everybody is effectively what they are. I don't know. It's a businessman is no better than an overweight Uber driver. There's just a level of silliness associated with. Well, there's silliness associated with both, of course. I could make fun of the successful, in quotes, successful person just as much as an unsuccessful person. I could make fun of anybody equally, and that's what people don't understand. People think they can get to a point where they're above getting made fun of. And it simply is not the case. That's delusional. That's ego gone bad. That's retarded. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's like it's a common belief too. Not to get philosophical. This is supposed to be about. I'm supposed to be talking about Meg right now. Well, I'm still talking about it. I'm saying that I could make. You wouldn't want to, though. You don't want to. When people are actually like her in real life, you don't. It feels bad. Feels bad. You do not want to make fun of people that are down that rough. Like imagine a girl maybe that you've fallen in love with, and then imagine them just being like showing up one day and just being so ugly, and then you're like, what am I supposed to do now that they don't mean anything to me, and that it's just so obvious that I'm just uninterested now. Like, what am I gonna do now? And that's, I don't know. Hopefully, ideally that would not be. Ideally that wouldn't. I don't know. I would hope that's not something that anybody has thought about me, where it's like one day they would like me and then the next day. Well, you would hope not, but again, you're not really losing anything. If somebody does not want you around, then you really aren't losing anything of value. Because there's just so many people. There are a lot of people, and if they don't want you around, then they're pretty much the worst person to be with. So it's like, it's pretty much a self-contained problem. It's like an explosion happening in a vacuum. Well, not a literal vacuum. I don't know. I was trying to say, it's like an explosion happening in nowhere. It's like somebody throws a bomb in a desert. That's pretty much what it's like when somebody's not interested in you if you're taking a logical approach. And also in a way, because it's self-contained, because it just resolves itself by the fact that by the fact that you're no longer it's no longer fun. They have nothing more to offer you at that point. I'm getting a phone call. So I'm gonna take the phone call, and I'm gonna try to keep it short, and it's gonna be a brief thing, and I'm gonna leave my mic on, but yes?
We've secured the lead.
Yeah, sure, win.
Mosquito active.
Okay, I'm just leaving you
Taking the lead.
now. Alright, call me when you're ready to go. Cool. Bye. I've just gotten, is my mic on? Everything's set. I have just received word that I'm going to be attending a buffet. This is a big, major development. It is not every day that I get to go to a buffet, except for it is, because that's what you do when you go to a dining hall. You know. I'll say this. I was trying to gloss over it, and I've mentioned it already in another short, unfortunately, but I had my little heart stricken. So I know what it's like to be a Meg. I know how it is. And I'm not, I don't know. I'm not like a Meg. I don't look like a Meg. You know. I keep acting. You know. I don't want to get weird about how I value myself, but I think I'm a decent. I think I'm a hell of a catch. You know. So yeah, I was hurt. I don't know why I'm making this about myself. I'm supposed to be talking about Meg. This shouldn't be a personal. This isn't a goddamn therapy session. But it's almost what it's become, and you can take it or you can leave it. But you know, if you really start judging me, then I'll tell you I was joking the whole time. Then it won't matter. That's pretty much denial. Oh look, I won it for my team, but I died. So what cost? Positive KD. Okay. Well, I'm literally just gonna talk about Meg for this entire video. Like it's because I'm going to dinner in 20 minutes. So I kind of have to. Like it wouldn't make sense to start on the next person. I could do a minor character. Or I could do oh my god, I just had a realization. I'm gonna have to watch The Simpsons so I can do the same thing I'm doing here with Family Guy on The Simpsons. Also, I'm gonna have to do research tonight where I'm gonna have to watch Family Guy. And okay, so it's good that Meg is gonna be the first character, because it just doesn't even matter what I say about Meg. So it's like, it's pretty much a good practice run. You know. That's what this is. Practice makes perfect. God, how have I don't know how I'm even doing this. I don't know how I can talk for this long about. Well, I've drifted. I've drifted through different topics and stuff. So it's all like fair game, I suppose. So what else is there? How else can you talk about a person? I'm gonna look up her Wikipedia. There's a time. Meg Griffin Wikipedia.
Kill confirmed. Eliminate all hostiles in the area.
Yep.
Grab their tags. We have taken
I'm looking at her Wikipedia and it said something about Stewie. I literally forgot about Stewie completely. It's gonna be fun to talk about Stewie because Stewie is a fun character. I don't think I can play any clips though, because I was just thinking, oh, it'd be fun if I could play clips. I don't know how I would even go about that. For one, I don't know how I would. Well, I could figure it out, but I think I might get a copyright strike then. And that's just the opposite direction of what I'm trying to do.
Confirm that one.
Because I'm just getting into the zone with this thing. I'm figuring out what I'm doing.
Friendly care package on the way.
As far as just like, you know, I kind of want to. You get in the mindset of, oh, I want to do. You kind of get in the mindset of, okay, I'm ready for my montage. I'm ready for my hashtag montage moment where I just choose a thing and I just grind it. And the thing I'm grinding right now is just the idea of choosing topics like Family Guy characters, Simpsons characters, states, and then just grinding them, just saying everything I can say about them, and just getting like 5 hours of content per topic. You know? Like by the end of this year. And it's so easy because I just play video games and I just think out loud. Also, another thing, luckily my throat doesn't hurt right now. Yesterday when I was talking a bunch, my throat started to get sore. I don't know why, but my throat's not sore right now. Alright. So I got the Wikipedia open. It says she's a sleeper agent. I forgot about that. I don't remember what she's a sleeper agent for. Probably Russia or the CIA. Like I recall the episode, but I don't recall what her deal was with that. So she's 18, so she's, as I was saying earlier, she is younger than I am. Which, you know, hits me in the existentials. Hits me in the... hits me in the feeling that I'm gonna die someday. Which, you know, death is fine. Death is what happens.
You're halfway to mission complete. Finish.
Happens to the best of us. So let's see. So I'm looking at the. Okay, so Meg only came on as a character. After Meg was picked up as a character after Fox picked up the show. That's what it's saying here. And the show is based on the life of Larry and Steve, which were short films made by Seth MacFarlane. That's not very Meg related, but that's fun. Yeah, so it's saying she's abused by a lot of people. Yeah, that's true. I haven't even mentioned the fact that Peter Griffin often puts her face into his ass and then farts, which is just has to be one of the most abusive ways any father has treated their daughter ever.
Confirm that one.
You know, there's no way to no way to treat your shit. No way to treat your daughter farting in her face like that on a consistent basis. Maybe once if they're really acting
Maintain the lead.
unpretty, ungentle, you know. But if you're doing it all the time, that's only gonna reinforce negative behaviors. That's speaking psychologically. Sometimes people are they just literally just want to complain, so they have no incentive to actually help you, and they have every incentive to like, I don't know, keep you down. And that's what they do. And that's what Peter does to Meg when he puts her face in his ass and farts on her. I would say in real life, you know, it's, I don't know, I guess a critique of the show is it's not realistic. And it's not always realistic. And that's a fair criticism, because the only thing that can make a show good, as we know, is if it's realistic. If it's not realistic, then it's probably a shit show, right? Because the only thing that matters is if it was... The only good show that exists is just this... It's just this, which is just straight up a recording. And that's pretty much the highest level of entertainment. So the Wikipedia's page is saying she wants to be part of the in crowd. Gets bullied. Oh yeah, the blonde girl, the head cheerleader, bullies her. I forgot about that. Oh, Neil Goldman. I forgot about him. Yeah, the nerdy Jewish student has a crush on her. Forgot about that. Yeah. So the blonde cheerleader, I don't know, maybe I'll talk to her at some point. Maybe I'll talk about her at some point. I don't know. Probably I'll get to the side characters, like Adam West. I don't know, like, there's no particular order. I'll probably do them last. It's just kind of anticlimactic, but hey, life is anticlimactic. You know, you don't go off into the sunset with life. You kind of end tired and sad. If you live a full life, you go out just like your body just doesn't even want to be alive anymore. That's what happens with old people. Their bodies give up. You know? Literally what happens. Their bodies say, I'm good. You know? Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I don't judge. Nothing wrong with that at all. But as far as how that has to relate with Meg, I don't know. Oh, I was on the Wikipedia page. I gotta get back to the Wikipedia. This whole stream is going to shit. Okay, Neil Goldman. He's attracted to her. Oh yeah. So he's like, I don't know. He's kind of like on her level, I guess. And what do we know about ladies? Ladies don't want to date on their level. They want to date. They would like to be dating somebody who they think is better than them. So Neil Goldman is maybe even a little bit better than Meg, but because of the way he approaches things, she has no choice but to reject him. It's a psychology lesson for you if you want to get on the level. I love the line here on the Wikipedia page. It says, Meg is usually the butt of Peter's jokes due to her unpopularity and ugliness, in quotes. jokes due to her unpopularity and ugliness. Ugh. He resorts to outrageous stunts and names. Stewie and Brian disdain her kindness. But they do it behind Meg's back. Lois constantly puts Meg down while boosting her own ego. Wow. So... Okay, so, I don't know. This is almost sad. I wonder what the subconscious... I wonder what the whole... I wonder what she's kind of based on psychologically. Because it is just... She's just abused. Maybe it's the part of Seth MacFarlane that feels unloved. Maybe that's who Meg is. Because this description is accurate, and it's also sad. Earlier I said nothing is sad. This is sad. The idea that just she's just getting fucked with all the time. Yeah, she becomes obsessed with men who show any kindness or affection to her. Including Joe Swanson. I forgot about that, yeah. She becomes really into, like, handling and helping out Joe. And then she also gets obsessed with Brian at one point. Family Guy's a dark show. Dark show to have all this shit. But I definitely need to watch it tonight. It's so gritty with these topics. So depressing. Or funny. Same thing, I guess. Yeah. So it's saying Peter actually is the most abusive, but sometimes he shows that he cares about Meg, including the episode where he tries to prevent Glenn from sleeping with her. And then also he doesn't want her to he didn't want her to be a foot fetish model. I forgot about that too, when she became a literal foot fetish model. That was a whole thing. That's weird. It's always weird when Meg would get into like romantic situations. It was always icky. So it really fit when they did the foot fetish thing. It really fit her vibrational state. You know, it wasn't like, I don't want to repeat myself a million times, but again, it was one of those things where it's like, that fits the character. That fits the character, and that's good. And that's what we're doing. Yeah, so whoever wrote this is like weird, because they think that like, so they like only examples of Peter caring about her are just not wanting her to get like fucked by other guys, like by guys, and that's pretty much just like, I think that just I mean, most fathers don't want their daughters to just get fucked, because it's just like, it's like embarrassing or something. It's like an ego thing. That it doesn't mean he cares about her. That means he has a weird ego thing about not wanting his daughter to be sexualized. There's all sorts of, that's a whole nuanced psychological concept. I don't even know how to even discuss that. I don't even know. But like, you know, I don't know why it's taking me so long to get into a game. It's getting boring. I'm getting angry about it. Getting angrier and angrier. I'm just stuck in the lobby. Connect me. Connect me. Do I have to restart? I will. There you go. It should spur things. Oh yeah, forgot. Meg has some friends. And then one of Meg's friends had a sweater, and she took off the sweater once in front of Brian, and Brian got really hot about her because she actually had like a nice body. That was kind of a funny episode. It's wild too, because that's like straight. That's also like illegal, I think. Well, 18. I don't know. Oh yeah, here's a line on the Wikipedia page. Meg is so unpopular at school that one student fires a nail gun into his own abdomen twice in shop class in order to avoid a date with her. Another student shoots his own brother as an excuse not to go to the dance with her. So that really is.
Free for all.
God, am I gonna have to talk this much about the other characters?
All of them.
Because I really have I've gone on for like an hour about Meg. This has to be bad for my subconscious to talk about a character that I loathe. Like, that the whole talking about her has just made me more grossed out by the whole topic. And I suppose it's all good because the time has come for me to go to my buffet. So I'm able to conclude this. Thanks for... I'll go until I die.
Hostile UAV in the area.
I'm getting a phone call. We're just gonna deal with it. I'm gonna go... hopefully somebody shoots me. Not in real life, but in the game. God. I just need to die first. Okay, I died. Okay, thanks for watching. What the hell? Oh, there it is.